Wir wechseln jetzt vom Thema Open Data zum Thema Open Education. Wir werden auch die Sprache jetzt wechseln. Die nächste Referentin ist nämlich Schwedin. So this means we switch to English now. And our next speaker, Tina Thörner, she will introduce us into the Borderless Classroom. And particularly when it comes to education, we're often looking towards the Scandinavian countries. So I think we can learn a lot from you, Tina. And you have introduced a learning platform which is really open, open access to students, to teachers. Everyone can use it, everyone can contribute, so the stage is yours.
Oh, thank you very much. Thanks a million, and then I try to use this. Yes. Yes, I have developed, and I would like to tell you a story. The business model is not yet really set, but I will take you on that story, why it started, the background, and how it have developed now into a business platform. It started 3 years ago. Me as a world citizen, I have worked as a professional co-driver, and that's why I asked Frederick about the map system in the Sahara. Because I have been using maps from around the world for the last 20 years. And most of the time, it has been so old maps that you had to correct them as you were driving. And that, of course, when you hear about the development, it, for me, was really, really interesting to see if they have done some development in Africa, because that has been a challenge when you are there, to find the right roads and to navigate. So it has really been using the old type of navigation with the sun and the stars sometimes. But back to my platform and why it all started, and the story how I decided to invest and develop a platform that should be based on open source to help students around the world collaborate for the future. I have been working with a lot of different type of citizens, rich ones, poor ones, in the middle, and also youth. And since 2010, I worked for UNICEF and worked with a lot of orphan home in Africa, and seen the youth at the same time as I was working with students in Sweden and teachers, and was thinking, wow, how much could they exchange? And now when they are building this internet and that is open, it's made possible for the countries like a developing part of our world, like Africa. How can I connect and let the Swedish students help the kids that I'm actually supporting in Africa in an easy way? And that's how this platform started out, to be a tool for students to help each other to develop. Where I was paying teachers in Africa who really didn't have all that knowledge and was very stuck in the old-fashioned way of thinking, compared to the students that was creating a lot of new things in Sweden. So that's why I invested in the beginning, and I wanted this to be free and open, because I knew in the developing countries there is no students who have money to pay a license to be able to use the platform. So this developed into becoming a new game plan. Everybody told me, oh, Tina, you have to find a way to earn money on it as well. You cannot just develop something, give it out to everybody for free. And how will it be checked? And what is the rules that's where it's gonna fit into? How can we make sure that the kids are protected? So we started that work out of a security system or a base system in Sweden that it was using to help everybody to have an account, or help to secure that everybody had an account, so we could see and be able to follow if something crazy happened on the platform. This was the start, and it's 2 years ago, so it has sort of developed very quickly. It was a new game plan, and of course the kids in Sweden really enjoyed to have this exchange, and they could discuss and talk about things that was in real time. That was actually something that they could relate to. And we decided then to use it locally as well as globally, that the local schools should be able to use it within the school system or to connect with schools along in Sweden. Depending on this quick change that we are now experiencing, we call it the exponential timeline. And that also helps all of us around the world to very quickly accustom to new things and also take that along. The globalization, urbanization, and digitalization have been the base on why we produce this platform to be open, to be free for everybody, to be a collaboration tool that should help everybody to contribute knowledge. And globalization, when it comes to digitalization, it's really cool because now the students that I'm supporting in Kar in Central Africa is now carrying around laptops that I've had a company supporting me with. And it is a crazy world when you think that they are still living out in camps and they are using the latest technology, or they work together with students in Sweden to grow their knowledge and help themselves to develop. And another purpose of it was actually also to help the education system, because it moves too slowly. The bridge that the business society is looking for in Sweden, I don't know if you have it here in Germany, but a lot of unemployed youth are applying for work where the business side is saying, oh, but you don't have the right skills to take this job, and they are looking for people that have other skills than the unemployed youth of today. So we thought, okay, how can we help this closed system for the students to get in touch with the business community and also find out what kind of skills do I really need? And that is what have become the business of the Open platform. So from February next year, it will be the first couple of companies that will now produce, you can say, a learning collaboration platform between students who are looking for what kind of skills they would need to actually apply for the next free space in that business. And it opens up, and a lot of teachers, I would say, starts to be scared, because what will happen with their security when the business open up and you have unemployed, educated teachers that are now building workboards and distributing them within a system. And that is the next business project that I've been asked to open up on the platform, is for unemployed teachers to be able to create workboards that they can distribute, that they can sign, and that also their educational license give them the authority to actually sell them on the platform. So it's more like an app system. It will develop into an app system where they then distribute the workboards in another way than the structured way of knowledge that we know it today. It's more crossover projects that is being distributed, where the students then learn about a project, and in the project they then take in the different skills that is needed to go forward on that area. Today we don't sit in the classroom to learn, and there is possibilities for students to be anywhere, any place. Also for the students that are traveling around the world, they can still be connected to their school, they can still be in the classroom together with their students back in the country where they came from or where they latest lived, and can continue to do projects together. That gives an opportunity also for their parents to maybe feel more secure when they know that they are still connected and they can just log in from anywhere and be a part of the community they come from. So that have also opened up for that type of business through the platform that was really based on connecting students around the world, helping each other to learn. Everybody asked me when I developed it, what is the purpose of it? And I say it's just because I've seen this need, and it's so much fun to see young students develop together, and they help each other, they coach each other, and they really enjoy it, enjoy learning. And throughout the last 2 years, I've been working with brain researchers from the Karolinska Institute in Sweden. As well as Sweden is famous for many other things, it's also famous for the gamification companies. I have had some contacts with the gamification companies that also have been involved in the development of this platform, and of course then also teachers or lecturers from in the different areas. So the platform is really based out of that knowledge, and that the higher purpose of it is that every child is an artist. Each of us is artists, and we can develop. And if we let ourselves and dare to try new things and learn new things, our brain is plastic, and that also, Picasso said a long time ago, how can we keep the spirit of that creation throughout the lifetime? And that's what we have tried on the platform to make it happen. That action should really be the biggest purpose of it. That action is the thing. We talk a lot and we discuss a lot, but there is very, very few people that actually do something or dare to do something, because a lot of people are afraid that it will be wrong, or you might have a misfortune. But it's most of the time is how we learn new things. And to be able to dare that, I decided then, okay, what's the worst thing that can happen? We start an open and free platform for all the students in the world. We'll see what happens. I finance it and we'll take it as it comes along. As it have now come along, this is a movie that will show you, or wrap it up actually, how School for You
presents
working.
a new way of learning. The school system of today is challenged. We need new tools and methods to get on track with the present time. The system is separated from the connected world students live in. And teachers are stuck in excessive administration, unable to do what they really love, teach. Something has to change. We need to inspire innovation and creativity. School for You is a flexible learning tool for students and teachers all over the world, developed and powered by knowledge from the brightest minds of today. And it's all free. So, how does it work? We bring school to the students, meeting them at their own platforms, making school time a part of their daily digital life on all devices and platforms. Use content and learning material from the internet or create it yourself. Collaborate on the same workboards and share projects to inspire others. Collect knowledge points, stars, and badges, and get rewards. It motivates, engages, and visualizes progress. Share projects with anyone all around the world, connecting cultures and countries, all languages and beliefs. One world, one school. Join, learn more, and contribute at schoolforyou.org.
So that was actually the open and free platform that now have developed into a request of different businesses. One is from unemployed teachers that would like to do workboards, get paid for it, and distribute it in different language, in different areas, and most of the time in project forms. What and why this is requested is because Finland is now turning into a new curriculum from August 2016, where they will leave the more structured way of learning in different subjects and go over to project forms. At the moment, there is no real material for that type of learning. So we have a lot of requests for that, and we are now building up a business proposal how teachers and schools can actually get kickbacks of their working that they would like to distribute or to sell to others as they have developed it by themselves. Another aspect is, like I told you, it's the businesses that would like to buy and create widgets on the platform, where the students now will be able to work with different businesses, learn about the, maybe a year or two, be a practitioner at that specific employment place. It is a bridge to help students be more skilled for the next step that they will try to find or develop or study into skills that will help them to get a work when they finish school. What has also been important is that we have been using the inner drive. When I worked with the brain researchers in Sweden, they say the inner motivation is the best motivation that you can base anything on. So we have actually worked with those. We can see here, maybe this one is a laser, yes. We can actually see here. So we have decided that the platform should be power, and its goal is to always keep motivation in focus, the inner motivation that we are actually born with from our genetic inheritance. That the platform, a lot of people discuss, yeah, you have built in gamification. Yeah, but it triggers a lot of students and it triggers a lot of teachers as well to take themselves to the next level. It should be incentives. We have, with the discussions now from the business environment, we have said, okay, you can do business on here, but you also have to give out some incentives that the students or the users can win something or be a part of something. It should be an exchange. That the development space should be in small step and should be individual developed as well as in big groups. Today, there is some of the Erasmus projects that are used for it. Erasmus are now looking into it. How could we develop that, and how can EU spend money on the platform to make it more specific to collaborate with the Erasmus programs that they are having between countries and schools. That is also that it gives opportunity to open up for students to get used to other countries, other businesses in other countries over the borders. There should be no limit that we work towards a world citizenship. That we have a determination to be able to promote business on the platform. Not only that it should be for the teachers or schools to sell stuff, the businesses to rent places or create widgets, what they pay for, but as well for students in the future to maybe create own small businesses on the platform with their knowledge to buy and sell that. As well as get support from each and one and get help from around the world. Instead of just looking maybe to the teacher in the classroom, you can look for teachers in other countries, or you can look at students in other countries, and they can help each other to develop. Since I got some more time, everybody have always asked me, what is the purpose then, and how do you get brain research into it? We have developed it from the inner driving force. And the inner driving force is based upon 3 parts of the brain. It's the older brain that creates our feelings. And a lot of people, when they grow up, when the brain is not developed into a fully neocortex synapse system, we are promoted by our feelings. And the brain's first function is what they say is influence, to have fun, and it likes to avoid boring stuff. Have you noticed? No? None of you have noticed that you would have more energy and more motivation to do fun stuff instead what you consider as boring? And it's the same for students. The more fun and the more attractive we do things, or people around us, it doesn't have to be students, the more likely it is that we don't think about how much time we spend on it and how we develop it. So we have built in rewards. Every input should give a reward of some kind. If it's knowledge points, if it's winning something, or incentives or whatever it is. And it should also bring the feelings into what you do. That it is your own contribution. That whatever you put on there is being seen. Together with using our higher purpose. The 3 inside motivation that triggers us is to feel that we are in control and we are in charge of what we would like to do. That we learn to master something, that we feel secure in what we are doing. And the third one is to have a purpose. Purpose for why I'm spending time here, or doing this contribution, or like to add business, or have it sold on some kind. And the outside motivation factors is money or material things. The first 2 months of the school year in Sweden this year, we actually had the knowledge navigation over 8 weeks, where all the students in Sweden could compete. Every week they won a smartphone. And that triggered a lot of students, instead of playing other game, to create 10 or 12 new email addresses. And that also triggers them to learn at the same time, because the workboard took about 1.5 hours a time to do, to collect the points. And that shows that when we can trigger education, and when you can even trigger teachers to get the motivation to even create material and contribute with that, it's great to be asked to start and do business on a platform that was really not created for it from the beginning. So this story is really a spin-off of something that had another purpose than making business out of it. So things can be created, and what I was really happy about is when I went to the BET fair in England. 2015, yeah, it was in February, I think, this year. And the Scandinavian schools had done a presentation, how will the technology and the digitalization develop until 2020 in the Scandinavian countries? And what kind of business will be able to be done from a new aspect? And when you were sitting there and you listened to all the exchanges, they summoned the technical side in 12 points. And we realized that the platform already had functions that would trigger and support 9 out of those 12. And that, of course, made it interesting then for corporations or business outside to start and work together with us and see the use of knowledge and exchange of it into helping to prepare the next working generation, and also in an entrepreneurial way to see opportunities to create their own businesses. And to summon this up, as I said to you, there is really one sector that is a CSR project. From my side, it should always be free and open for everybody to use, where now, as of next year, there will be 2 business concepts. Knowledge for you and business for you, where not only us who is driving the platform will earn money, but as well as the users and the businesses who likes to do developing projects on it. So how will it then bring in money? My purpose is that the platform will always, the business on the platform should always have a purpose. The purpose should be for something that will help the society to have quality in life while we are living. And one of the projects that will now be presented is a digital CV for everyone within the different communities in Sweden, where the CVs will be connected with the local business centers, together with the unemployed centers as well. Together with that, we will do a digital program where you will activate and learn and be a part of a company for a year. And we get the incomes actually from the different companies that then produces games and knowledge boards throughout the year. And the student can be doing practical work digital and earn points, and at the end of a season or at the end of the year that they will then practice, they get a digital CV that will have a value for that company where they have been working in over the year. A layout on how this tool will look like is this one. That is the practical side of it. So this is what will be made for different businesses with different game, with different possibilities to develop throughout and learn. At the same time as they are learning about what skills they need, they also learn how it functions and what is asked for the future. And this is the knowledge-based part of it, where we can make business as well. It's when knowledge is being sold or requested for from the users on the platform, like an app system or third-party businesses. And with that, I would like to finish this or wrap it up. At the exhibition in Sweden, the biggest Scandinavian exhibitions for digital material, we actually won first prize as the most innovative project of the year. So, ladies and gentlemen, I hope I've given you a little bit of a story how something that had another reason will turn into a business case of open and free sources. So thanks a million for me.